Willie D, it's me. And I know I'm a little too late, you know. I just want to bring up this Birdman thing when he going to somebody's establishment. First of all, you come in there with 20 goons, but you want to speak to somebody man to man? That's not man to man, homie. You don't come to somebody's establishment saying, I want to speak to you man to man, but you bringing 4 or 5 of your goons up in there. Like, no, you wasn't expecting to speak man to man. Because if I'm expecting to speak man to man, I pull you to the side and we handle our differences. I'm not going to bring 5 of my homeboys up in your establishment saying I'm speaking man to man. No, that's like we ready to throw down. You got your squad, I got my squad. That's how it is. But anyway, before I go into this, man, I want to recommend this book to anybody, man. This is a very good book. It's basically about the dude. He goes into like the toughest California prisons. I think Folsom and San Quentin. He goes into different prisons, and he's basically like a prison counselor, and he tries to get these inmates to really think about where they're headed at. Okay, but before I go, I want to just show you some of the subjects that he covering here because it has a lot of information in there. It talks about basically the origins of a lot of things, like the significance of what's going on. Wait a minute. Okay. Anyway, you look right there. See, talks about the hyphy movement, and you can tell this book is not too new because the hyphy movement ain't been in style since about almost 10 years. But anyway, history of tattooing, profanity, and thug fatherhood. Because according to statistics, 85% of inmates grew up in a fatherless home. And I gotta tell you something, because if you actually watch the video of Birdman, you'll see that he walked in there, said what he had to say. Charlemagne trying to understand what's going on. No explanation. He said what he had to say and walked out of that joint. Because Birdman grew up in a home without a father. And a lot of these thugs do. A lot of these thugs act like women. A lot of these thugs will go all up in your face because that's what they see mama doing. Now, if they had a man at home, they would know that man don't handle situations like that. The only man handle situation like that is one that was raised by women. And get a woman at that. Because men don't have time to go and talk. They're trying to solve the problem. They're trying to fix it. But a lot of these thugs don't do that. They grew up seeing their mama all up in people's face. Talking to the cops like they crazy. All up in their face, and once somebody else start talking, they leave. My wife do that mess sometimes. Come talk to me about what's going on. I'm trying to understand what's going on. When I try to speak, it's like she leave out the room. Leave you stuck, right? But see, I wasn't raised like that. Because in order to solve a problem, you're trying to understand it. What's the issue? What's going on, man? Why are you acting like this? Why are you coming at me like this? But no, a lot of women, and I don't want to say women, but a lot of females will sit there, come in your face, say what they got to say, and take off. And that's what Birdman seen when he was going on. Another issue was the tattoos. And speaking of tattoos, can somebody please explain to me, what is a grown man doing with writing all over his face and his top of his head, man? Why homeboy got stars all over his head? Like, dude, and he even said that in there, that the reason most thugs get tattoos is to make a statement. It could be as a form of intimidation, or it could be to tell what gang you was from. Now, when I see a grown dude with stars on his head, what gang is you from, homie? Oh, I got it. I know exactly what gang you from. Check this out. And so you see, homeboy walking around looking like a clown, man. So Birdman, instead of coming in with your pants sagging, I got something else for you, man. How about you try these shoes on? Go ahead, try this hat on right here, man. You like that? I'll let you even pick the color. and just go and throw the whole suit on. There you go. Your tattoos fit in right on with that outfit. And then you looking at him, dude, homeboy, when he sit down, dude grunt. The dude just grunt when he sat down. Now I got two scenarios why a grown man would grunt when he sit down. Either you got high cholesterol or your butt is raw. You know how your butt is raw? Well, I don't know nothing about that, but you know how your butt is raw. And when you sit down, you got to sit down slowly. And when you do, you got to grunt because it stings. Why would Birdman's butt sting when he sit down? Why is you grunting when you sit down? Did I hear grunting? Yeah, nigga just grunting when he sat down. Same, man. But the point I want to get to, man, all joking aside and all this other silly stuff, is that what Birdman demonstrated in that room is it demonstrates that, because I hear a lot of times that if we just give these young men jobs, if we just give them education and jobs, we'll take a lot of stuff off the street. And they think that's the problem in the black community. It's just give black people jobs. But as you can see, a nigga with money is still a nigga. Money doesn't change a person's mentality, as you just seen Birdman demonstrate by the way he spoke. He didn't even say respect right. How you gonna demand respect if you can't even speak proper English? How you gonna demand that? Dude spoke like a 3-year-old, and then you call yourself a baby. How can you as a grown man demand respect if you're calling yourself a baby, if that's your nickname? You got drawn all over your face. Now I got a little girl, a little daughter, 4 years old. She likes to draw. But ain't no way in the world she finna take a color crayon and draw all on my face, because I work in customer service. And for me working in customer service and have somebody draw all over my face, teardrops and stars over my face, I would get fired, or people would not approach me in a respectful manner. They'll think something's wrong with me. I belong in a halfway house. Now let's say Birdman, he owns his own business, alright, he don't work for nobody, but obviously you a businessman, you have to do conference calls. You have to meet with other businessmen. Now if you're in the conference room, you're trying to sell your product, you know, say that you're trying to sell a product. Now I don't know what Birdman does. I know he has a corporation with the music industry. But a lot of times these artists, they'll sell like clothes and fashion and all these other things. Okay? Now say he's trying to grow his empire and trying to merge with some other empire, and you're in a conference room trying to present your what you're trying to do, and you got drawn all over your face, man. Come on, you serious? Like, how do you demand respect, you a grown man with drawing on your face? And homeboy can't even say 3. Homeboy talking about tree.
All 3 of y'all.
I'm like, tree? Why would you say all 3 of y'all? And then it started to make me think. See, people thought, you know, when he said tree, it made me think of something. Because I remember reading a part of the Bible where it talks about Jesus healing a dude. Let me read that for you. See, people thought Birdman was speaking gibberish, and I thought it too. But check this out. I want you to just bear with me. Whether you follow the Bible or you believe in God or not, follow me for a minute. See if you can't make the connection with this. Alright? This is Mark 8, verse 23 and 24. Now, follow me for a minute. Because he said all 3 of y'all. Now, people speak proper English want respect. If you want respect, you got to speak proper English, homie. But check this out. Jesus just got through healing a dude. He put spit on the dude's eyes because the eyes was blind, right? Now, in Mark 8, verse 23, it says, and Jesus took the blind man by the hand and brought him outside the village. After spitting on his eyes, he laid his hands on him and asked him, do you see anything? After Jesus healed this dude, he basically spit in his eyes, and the guy, he healed him in stages. Now check out what this dude said. Check what this blind dude said when he got healed. When Jesus said, do you see anything? The man looked up and said, I see people, but they look like trees. Now, anybody make a connection there? Only a blind man will call people trees. And that's the spirituality between the thug. That first of all, you going into an establishment where there's no sun on, and you got sunglasses on. Because the nigga's spiritually blind. You hear me? And it's not just spiritually blind, the nigga's blind to life. You've been in the streets so long, you can't even see life ahead of you. The only thing you see is the streets. And no matter how much money this dude can have $1 billion, but the nigga still gonna think like a nigga because money does not make a person mature. Dude sat down and said, I want y'all to respect me.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it.
All three
All three of y'all.
of y'all. And then he gonna take, are y'all done or are y'all finished?
My nigga, y'all finished or y'all done?
Like, those were actually anonyms. Dude spoke 2 synonyms like, are you done or are you finished? That's like saying, is your plate hot or is it on fire? Are you sleepy or are you just tired? Dude spoke 2 synonyms and gave them a choice between 2 synonyms. But homie, you want respect. And it just demonstrates that no matter how much money you give these little niggas on the street, job is not going to change a nigga. Education, self-esteem, and perfect role models is going to change a Negro. You give a nigga money all you want to. But if you're a nigga, he just going to blow it on a joint or something else that's going to kill the rest of his brain cells in his body. So all y'all pro-black dudes talking about, oh, we just give people jobs and the white man is holding us down by keeping us economically at the bottom of the barrel. Well, how do you explain someone like Birdman, who got money, who has who owns his own business, who actually has people working under him? How do you explain somebody like that? This dude got money, but yeah, he's still thinking like a nigga. Comes down to woman, because establishment of the way a man is raised depends a lot on who she picks to be that child's father. If you as a woman, because in this country, women are free to pick whoever they want to have sex with, whoever they want to have kids with. Now, if you go to the Middle East, your parents pick that. But coming to this country, women get to pick who they want to have kids with, and look what kind of stupid choices they make. So a lot of times, the future of your kids and the success of your kids and how they're going to make in life has a lot to do with how you women choose to be your child's father. Because your child's father in and out of prison, you have doomed your child to be somebody that's going to be in and out of prison. You have to give your child an 85% chance of being up in prison. And that got nothing to do with the white man, because the white man is not establishing who you pick as a father. So it comes down to you women. So the burden is on you women, most of them. You see, because a man's not going to do what the woman doesn't allow him to do. See, a long time ago, you couldn't get the nookie, or you couldn't get the romance unless you had finance. Today, the dude can come and sleep in a lot of these women on a woman's couch and still eat all her food up, and still she open her legs to him every night. See, the marriage rate a long time ago was more higher then because there was motivation to get married. Meaning that if you want some of this between my legs, you got to actually marry me. You got to have something going on for yourself. But see, the standards have become so low that dude don't have any motivation to even get you. It's just so easy. So the burden comes down to you females. And it's just kind of like Chirac. Now, they messed up that movie a little bit. I didn't watch it, but from what I hear is that the woman held off on the sex until the killing stopped. And that's not what I'm saying, because I think a bunch of these niggas on the street so thirsty, they'll be in the back of the alley pumping each other. You see what I'm saying? There's no reason for 2 straight men to be showing their underwears. Why is 5 Negroes coming out of the car with having their underwear shown? What was y'all doing in the back of that limo, homie? But that's beyond the point. The whole point is that to counteract this argument that the reason that black people in the situation is because we have been what do you call that? We have been stuck in an economic situation with Birdman disproved that whole argument. The reason we're in this situation is because we have come to glorify this lifestyle. We have come to set the thugs as heroes. We ridicule those with an education, and those who are speaking the truth, we label them as coons. And we laugh at this stuff like it's funny. See, a lot of people watch Birdman, and he's trying to make money off a shirt saying put some respect on my name. You're trying to make money off gibberish. Instead of teaching your fans to say respect, you're teaching us to speak stupid. You make it into a punchline. You see, we're going back to the slave talk. Because that's how slaves used to talk. When they didn't get education. Massa. All this other stuff that the words didn't even sound right. Anyway. That's all I got to say about that. None of my business, man. But anyway, yeah, Antoine Dotson he called me today. He wanted to say something to Birdman. I let him say that, and after that, I'm out. Y'all have y'all good.
We got your t-shirt. You done left fingerprints and all. You are so dumb.